Night falls gently over Hollowridge Manor as dusk's last light slips into shadow. Clouds drift across the ancient facade, whispering secrets of centuries past through the pointed arches and carved stone. One by one, lanterns awaken along the wrought iron gates, first a solitary glow at the front path, then a pair at the veranda, and finally, a warm procession of lights tracing the edges of the grand windows. Each spark feels like an invitation, promising comfort within these time-worn walls. Yet even as the glow draws you closer, you can't shake the sense that each flicker holds a story of laughter long ago, of whispered confidences by candlelight, and perhaps of truths better left unspoken. Tonight, you step across the threshold, lantern in hand, greeted by a breeze that carries both welcome and warning. The manor's shadowed eaves stretch overhead, and for a moment, the world outside fades away. Here, in the hush before the gathering, anticipation hangs in the air like lingering smoke. You brace yourself for the warmth inside and for whatever flicker of revelation awaits. Once those doors close behind you, one by one, the candles come to life, tiny beacons against the deepening dusk. Their flames dance in silent rhythm, casting quivering shadows that caress the mantel's carved edges. Each slender taper holds a promise of warmth and revelation, its glow slipping across the hearth like a soft sigh. In this flickering hush, every flame carries the weight of 1,000 untold stories, waiting to be heard. As the hearth's glow fills the dining room, for familiar faces gather around the table, each step soft on the aged floorboards. Each chair scrape a quiet herald of what's to come. Sarah settles in at the head, her fingers brushing the polished wood as though seeking its steady comfort. Mark takes his place opposite, offering a polite smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes. Emily slides in next, shoulders drawn inward, as if she braced herself against an unseen chill. And Lucas, he hesitates at the threshold before easing into his seat, eyes flicking to the chandelier above. Candlelight dancing on silverware, linen napkins folded with careful precision, glasses already half filled with red wine. There's warmth here, a sense of reunion, a reminder of shared history. Laughter seems just within reach, but beneath each exchange of pleasantries, a subtle unease stirs, a breath held too long between words, a glance that lingers just a heartbeat too late. The shadows at the table's edge deepen, as though drawn by something unsaid. In this turn of chairs and rising anticipation, comfort and dread intertwine like smoke from a candle, entwining and drifting, promising both solace and something far more unsettling. Glasses raised high, Mark offers a heartfelt toast to friendship and the bonds that keep us together. His voice echoes softly against the wood-paneled walls, warmed by candlelight as each flicker seems to pulse in time with his words. Tonight's like this, he begins, amber liquid catching the glow, when laughter fills the room and old worries fade into the shadows. At that moment, the chandelier yields to the unexpected. A single bulb sputters, its light dimming until it hovers on the brink of darkness. The room holds its breath as Mark's smile falters, and curious glances ripple from face to face. Was it a draft, a loose filament, or something deeper, sensing the weight behind unspoken thoughts? In that suspended pause, the warmth in their eyes turns to concern. Wine-stained lips part in silent question, and for the first time this evening, the light itself seems to lean in, as if urging them to listen more closely, to notice not just the toast, but the truths hiding in the flicker. Focus on the fragile link, each chain forged long ago, now trembling under the weight of hidden truths. The bulb flickers, its delicate glow fighting the gathering dark. Every stutter of light is a pulse, a heartbeat echoing secrets we dare not speak. In these quiet tremors, the chandelier becomes a witness watching, waiting, reminding us that some truths refuse to stay buried. Sarah watches in fascination as Lucas offers his first test. "I've got a meeting at 8, he says, voice steady. In that instant, the chandelier skips a beat, its glow hesitating mid-air. Eyes flick between glass and bulb as Emily forces a laugh, masking her surprise. The light flutters again, briefer this time but unmistakable, undeterred. Mark leans forward. "I didn't break that vase," he insists, brow furrowed. And once more, the bulb stutters, dropping into partial darkness before rebounding. A hush falls. Wine glasses tremble in shaky hands, The room's warmth cools, replaced by a prickling curiosity what unseen force judges their words. Each flicker feels like a heartbeat out of sync, a question dangling in the air, if light itself can't bear a lie. What darkness awaits when the truth comes out? Sarah's thumb scrolls through the images, each photo a frozen heartbeat of light caught mid-flicker. There's the first shot, a bulb stuttering as Lucas speaks, then another, dimming when Mark's voice wavered. Her breath catches as she flips between frames, tracing the pattern. Every time someone lies, the chandelier betrays them. In that quiet glow from her phone, clarity dawns, a curse bound to falsehoods, turning light into a lie detector. Eyes narrowing, she tucks the phone away and looks up at her friends, resolve stealing in her chest. The game has begun. Outside, the wind howls like a warning across the manor's stone walls. A sudden gust sweeps through open windows, snuffing the candle's glow in an instant. Darkness surges inward, carrying the storm's breath and a promise that nothing can stay hidden when the wind and the light betrays you. In Emily's memory, a mother's lullaby turns to silence. She cradles a cradle forever empty. Guilt settles in her chest like a stone she never dared to lift. Then Lucas, pacing a sterile office, promises late nights he'll never keep. His life spins threads of trust into knots that only tighten with each passing hour. And Mark, caught in a stolen embrace, feels the weight of a vow broken, an affair hidden behind closed doors, now flickers like a dying flame. 3 sins laid bare in flashes of truth, each one echoing in the dark, each one demanding its reckoning. Emily's eyes widen as Sarah's words slice through the candlelit haze. You hid this from me. A tremor runs through the room, mirrored in the chandeliers above. In that charged moment, Emily feels time slow. The flicker of candlelight dances across her tear-brimmed lashes. She presses her lips together, heart hammering under the weight of the accusation. No whispered excuse can ease the sting of Sarah's revelation. The air grows thick with unspoken truths, and in Emily's gaze, you see the shame of a secret finally exposed. A single candle guttering on the table, its flame a desperate heartbeat in the gathering dark. Sarah's hand darts forward, fingertips grazing wax as she strikes the match. Whoosh, light erupts, jagged and fleeting, illuminating for pairs of wide, terrified eyes. In that staccato glare, Mark lunges for the mantel, knocking over a candlestick. Emily's gasp echoes off the walls. Lucas scrambles to the sideboard, flinging open a drawer in search of more matches. His hands shake so violently the box tumbles to the floor, spilling phosphorus onto the carpet. Shadows dance wildly across their faces as Sarah steadies the rekindled taper. The fragile glow sways each pulse, a warning that the darkness isn't done with them yet. They freeze, hearts pounding. A distant floorboard creaks, the candle's flame wavers again, and panic grips them all, urging one frantic thought: find more light before there is none left. The candle shatters, wax pooling on the table like spilled blood. The flame dies, plunging the room into a hush so thick you could hear a heartbeat. Then the camera drifts from the broken wax to the empty chair where Emily once sat, her place pulled back, her plate untouched. In that vacant space, absence breathes loudly, a silent question echoing off the walls. Where has she gone? And what darkness claimed her in the flicker's wake? The manor's corridors lie silent now, each door a promise of stories untold. Footsteps drift in the distance, faint, uncertain, bouncing off stone walls and varnished banisters. Here, in the emptiness between each step, every creak feels magnified, as though the house itself is searching for its missing guest. In the suffocating dark, Lucas and Mark part ways, each stepping into the manor's yawning corridors. Their footsteps echo like distant drums as they navigate twist after twist of shadowed hallways. Lucas' pause is at the crossroads of 2 doors, his breath caught in his throat as he glances over his shoulder. The lantern's glow trembles, revealing peeling wallpaper and oil paintings whose eyes seem to follow him. Meanwhile, Mark inches forward down a narrower passage, fingertips brushing the damp stone walls. A sudden scuff of floorboard groaning under unseen weight propels him into a sprint, heart pounding. 2 paths, 1 destination. find Emily before the darkness claims another secret. Every corner turned, every door opened ratchets the tension tighter until at last, they realize the manor itself may be alive with intent. Sarah's hand hovers over the door, its finish cold and chipped, a portal to secrets best left alone. She eases it open with a slow creak that echoes like a warning. Inside, the nursery lies abandoned, a wooden rocking horse frozen mid-sway, a mobile of painted stars unmoving in the stale air. The only motion comes from the phonograph in the corner, its needle tracing an old lullaby that warps and skips in the hush. Each note feels tinged with sorrow, looping on memories of cries never heard. Moonlight slices through a dusty crib rail, revealing a quilt folded just so as if its occupant might return at any moment. Sarah steps forward, breath shallow, as the melody warbles again. Hush-a-bye. Don't you cry. Her reflection shimmers in the nursery window, a spectator intruding on a scene of silent grief. Her pulse quickens as she turns to the phonograph, fingertips brushing the faded label. The song slows, dragging in the darkness behind it. Sarah's eyes dart to the empty crib, no sign of Emily, only the echo of a mother's lullaby suspended in time. In this stillness, the manor's secrets feel closest and most vulnerable. And Sarah realizes, in chasing the light, they've awakened a sorrow that refuses to stay in the shadows. Photographs line the hallway, smiling faces caught in happier days. As the camera drifts past each frame, smiles blur into anonymous shadows, memories fading like footprints in dust. Time slips away, leaving only the echoes of who we once were, and the secrets we can no longer remember. Sarah steps back into the dining room alone now, the table strewn with overturned chairs and broken wax. Above her, a single bulb shudders in its socket, then lashes out in a violent pulse of light. Her breath hitches as the strobe reveals something at the table's center, a dark shape slumped in shadow. With each flicker, the form twists, just out of focus, as if reality itself recoils. She gasps, heart pounding, caught between the light and the dark. The chandelier's fury seems to judge her, daring her to confront what she's unleashed. They come full circle. Sarah, Mark, Emily, and Lucas each return to the table as if drawn by an unseen hand. The camera swirls around them in one seamless arc, catching every flicker of candlelight on anxious brows and twitching lips. Heads swivel, breaths catch, Emily's fingers curl into the tablecloth. Lucas's jaw clenches. Mark's gaze darts to the strobing chandelier, then back to Sarah's unrelenting stare. In that dizzying rotation, the room shrinks around them, every heartbeat echoes in the hollow din. And with each revolution, the impossible becomes clear. The light itself has become their judge, and none can hide in its gaze. Thump, 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 the light pulses in time, with each racing beat rising, falling. An electric drum in the darkness. With every flicker, the tension tightens, reminding them that the next breath could be their last. In a voice cold as broken glass, Sarah snarls, "I never loved you as a sister." The words hang for a heartbeat, then the chandelier convulses in a blinding strobe. Each flash a slap of white-hot accusation. Mark recoils. Emily's gasp fractures the air. Lucas clutches his chest as if the lie has punched him in the ribs. In that violent light, every hidden wound is laid bare. And as the last pulse subsides, they know this night's greatest betrayal has just been unleashed. The light fractures into strobe, painting the room in sharp black and white. Each pulse reveals another absence. First Mark's chair, then Emily's, then Lucas's, until only the empty silhouettes remain. Frozen in mid-motion, silence crashes in the gaps between flashes, reminding Sarah that when the light fades, so do those who dared to lie. From the blackened chandelier, ash drifts down like forgotten memories. Each tiny ember floats in the stillness, a silent reminder that some truths burn away everything they touch. The ash settles as Sarah remains the lone witness to the aftermath, her cheek, streaked with tears, glimmers with dust like shattered glass and candlelight. In the hush, her voice is a fragile whisper, an offering to the void. Why am I still here when all who lied have vanished? She lifts a trembling hand to her mouth, as if to catch the question before it slips away. Shadows cling to her shoulders, and the empty chairs loom like specters just beyond her sight. Her breath comes slow, each exhale drawing the darkness closer. The manor's silence presses in, heavy with unspoken answers. "I never wanted this," she confesses, voice cracking. "I only sought the truth." But in the stillness, no echo returns, only the distant creak of floorboards, and the faint promise that the night's secrets are far from spent. Alone, she realizes that some lies demand a price no light can pay, and as the final ember of candlelight gutters out, her whispered apology dissolves into the black. Night's grip loosens as dawn creeps over Hollowridge Manor. Pale light seeps into the clouds, painting the stone in muted gold. Yet the windows remain shuttered, their darkness unbroken by the sunrise. In this hush between worlds, the manor holds its breath, scarred by secrets no daylight can wash away. She reaches back, fingers brushing empty socket where light once ruled the room. Now only hollow space remains. A single bulb quivers to life, its glow fragile as a memory. For a heartbeat, warmth returns, dancing across Sarah's drawn features. Then, as if remembering the night's heavy toll, the light sputters and dies. Darkness consumes the manor once more, swallowing both past and promise alike. In the silent void, only one truth remains. Some flickers are meant to warn, not to welcome. And in that echoing absence, terror lingers long after the light has faded. Sarah's gaze hammers Mark's resolve, her words a blade cutting through polite pretense. "What else have you hidden?" she demands, brow furrowed and voice cold. Mark's defiance wavers, his jaw snaps shut, eyes darting as sweat beads at his temple. In that brutal close-up, panic seeps in, and he realizes the chandelier isn't the only thing that sees every lie. A single flame fights the gathering dark, its slender glow wavering, flickering like a faltering heartbeat. And then, in one quiet snap, it surrenders to the shadows. Sarah's eyes narrow, her lips curling with cold fury. She leans so close Mark can feel her breath, and with a hiss sharper than broken glass, she spits the words that shatter their world. "I never loved you as a sister." The declaration hangs for a heartbeat, then the chandelier erupts in a violent strobe. White-hot pulses slicing through the darkness like thunderclaps. In each flash, their silhouettes tremble, their secrets exposed in stark relief. Mark's defiance crumbles into disbelief. Emily's gasp fractures the air. Lucas's shoulders shake, as if the accusation has struck him to the core. With every blinding beat, the room contracts, squeezing out any shred of safety. And when the final flash fades, only trembling shadows remain, proof that some lies cut deeper than any blade. The light fractures again, each pulse carving reality into shards. First, Mark's silhouette dissolves, his chair collapsing inward. Then Emily's, vanishing in a breathless blink. Lucas flickers next, until only empty wood remains. Silence swells in the spaces between flashes, echoing with the disbelief of a truth too terrible to speak. Darkness gathers beyond the glass as storm clouds claw across the sky. Wind-whipped echoes drum on ancient pains, and with a single thunderclap, the world shudders, reminding you that no light can hold back the coming tempest. Sarah's shoulders slump as ash drifts like silent snow around her. Every mote glints in the dim light, the remnants of broken promises settling at her feet. Her eyes lift to the empty socket above, and for one fragile moment, a single bulb sputters to life. Its glow is tentative, a whisper of warmth in the cavernous dark. She reaches out, hope flickering in her chest, only for the light to gasp and die in her fingertips. Silence swallows the room. In that inky void, isolation hums in her veins, and the dread lingers cold, unending, waiting for the next secret to surface. Sarah's fingertips hover over the cold socket where a bulb once hung. Now only emptiness waits. The room trembles, as if sharing her question. What force still stirs this air? With a hesitant touch, she probes the void. A shiver runs through the walls, faint, electric echoing her own pulse. In that suspended moment, she senses the manor's breath, heavy with secrets. Her eyes drift upward to the chandelier's skeleton, and for a heartbeat, the world holds still. Nothing moves but her resolve. She will find the answers hidden in the flicker's wake, even if it means reaching into the darkness itself. A single drop of wax breaks free, its descent silent as a secret slipping away. In that frozen moment, time holds its breath, reminding us that even the smallest reveal can echo in the darkness. A lone spark flares to life, brief warmth return to shadowed halls. But in the end, even hope surrenders, the glow sputters and dies,